Welcome back. Well, today we give you proof. You don't need a big garden or big yard rather to grow a garden. Ayana McBride, a social media plant and garden educator, joins us live now from Georgia to give us all the dirt on some container gardening basics. Welcome, Ayana.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So happy to have you. Now, container gardening is a great, I would say, gateway drug to gardening. So what can you grow in containers?
Well, I always say, let your imagination be your guide. You can grow flowers, vegetables, herbs, and the great thing about it is so many plant and seed companies are making plants that are specific for containers.
Now, we're going to get started today with a really easy way to introduce us to container gardening. So what do we need?
Okay, so to be able to get started planting, you just need a few simple things. So what I have here, I just have a basic pot.
Okay.
The main thing about it is you always want to have a drainage hole. You want that water to drain, and then always get your garden gloves on. You want to protect your hands, and then you will need some potting mix. Potting mix is bred specifically for pots so that it can help with the drainage, because you don't want your plants just staying in water and not being able to drain.
Got it. So I got raised garden bed soil today. Is that okay? Am I going to be all right?
You'll still be fine.
Okay.
We just want you to start, so that's totally fine.
Okay, so what are we going to plant today?
Okay, so today we're going to plant some cilantro, and this is all of the items that I just showed you. You can go to your local garden center and pick them up, but we have some cilantro here that we're going to plant today. And I love cilantro because it really is a 2-for-1 plant. So the leaves are the cilantro, and then let it flower, let it continue to grow, and then it'll produce coriander, and you'll have coriander, the seeds, and then the leaves are cilantro.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Okay, so we start with soil in the pot, right?
Yes. So I have my pot here. So I've already put a little bit of the potting mix in here, but you want to fill it up about 3/4 of the way. Give yourself enough room so that you can put your cilantro plant in there. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loosen up this cilantro plant, and you can just loosen it up from the bottom, and we're just going to slip it out really easily. Now, what I like to do is I like to tease the roots just a little bit, because this is going to encourage the plant to like spread out and grow.
Okay.
And then I want to say with your pots, get a pot about 4 to 6 inches bigger than your plant so that it'll have the room to grow.
Okay.
So all I'm going to do is I fill this up. I'm just going to dig a hole in the middle, just a little shallow hole, and I'm just going to put my cilantro right in the middle.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take my potting soil, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill around. I'll fill around the remainder of the plant, and I'll show you in just a minute, because I have a lot of soil that's kind of dropping out here, but that's okay.
Yeah, I
So
do
what
too.
I do want to mention is you want to leave about 1 to 2 inches of space, because when you water it, you don't want the water to just overflow over the pot. And
Oh,
after
okay.
you get it in, just press down a little bit to get those air pockets out. So that way the water can go through and touch all the roots and, drain properly. So we're just going to set this up. We've put it in the middle here, and I'm just pressing lightly. You don't have to press hard, just to get those air pockets out. And just like that, you have your container of cilantro here.
That's a great
Now
way to start.
And the last thing what we want to do is I have just a watering can. Every time I plant, I just go ahead and I water the plant, making sure that I water it to where it's coming out of that drain hole that I showed you just a few minutes earlier. So I just put some water in here, and we're just going to let it drain. That way I know it's been watered all the way down.
Okay. And so when you go back to water it, how often do you need to make sure it needs to be watered?
So this is the thing. For the first few days, just keep an eye on it, just to make sure it doesn't dry out. And then also, you may have to come and water it. Sometimes it may go through what we call a transplant shock. That's totally okay. Don't get alarmed. But here's my rule. I'm going to give y'all a secret. My rule of when to water it is I use my index finger and I
Okay.
go down to the knuckle. So I'll put my hand in here. If the soil is dry, you'll need to water it. And then if it's still wet, you can wait a day or two. But that's like a good way to know if you need to water or not, and then how often.
Awesome. Good advice there. Real quick, where can folks find you and learn more?
So I'm on all social medias. I'm on Instagram at Ayana Plants. I am on TikTok and YouTube at Ayana Plants. And then we also have a free gardening group on Facebook as well. And the name of the group is the Beginner Gardener Club, Simple and Easy Tips for Gardening.
Wonderful. Ayana McBride, thank you so much for giving us all the dirt on container gardening today.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, stick around.